my sweet, sweet friends. My name's Adele if you are new, and today I'm going to be doing another Real Talk. If you've been keeping up with my videos lately, you'll know that I'm kind of going through a lot of changes at the moment, and it's something that's been very much on my mind lately, is all these changes that I've been dealing with. I just feel like everything is a lot right now, and there's a lot happening around me in my life, and maybe I'm just being dramatic, but that's how I feel. And so I wanted to talk about change and how we react to it and what I'm feeling and maybe how to get better. Well, I don't have any advice or solutions, but maybe I can talk through this and work something out for myself. Change is inevitable. Change is going to happen to us no matter what, whether we like it or not. And I feel like there are perceived good and bad changes, and keyword perceived, because I don't believe there are any truly good or bad changes. I do feel like all change is just a whole, like it's just a concept of a whole. There's no spectrum or anything like that. I just think change is change, and that's that. There's nothing we can do about it. Again, we can perceive it as good and bad changes, but I do think our bodies and our minds are going to react to it the same way. We have those same symptoms, the same anxiety reacting to change, and I don't think change controls us. I think it's our reactions to change that determine more of how it's going to affect our life, if that makes sense. I have a love-hate relationship with change. I think it's never been like I hate change or like I love change, but I do think I go through like periods where it kind of leans more one way than the other. Definitely when I was a kid and like high school and stuff like that, I liked change a lot more. Like I really loved change and I welcomed it and I wanted change, and I used to want to take those big moves and like do these big things, and I had big dreams and I wanted to do all this stuff, and I wanted change in my life. And now I feel like I've come to the point where I crave more of a steady sort of situation. I want more stability over change, and and that's not all one way or the other, but it's a mix of both, I guess. And so I am fine with change, but I don't always enjoy it, especially when they're big life changes that throw a wrench in your plans and kind of disrupt everything you've got going on in your life. And that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. Big life changes that are disrupting everything I've got. So it's been weird. For example, I graduated college, which is a perceived good thing. And there are good things about it, but there are also bad things about it. Today's Monday. Today's the first Monday back to school. Gavin's going back to class. Everyone's going back to school today. And I'm not. This is the first time I'm not going back to school. And it's really weird. And I don't know how I feel about it. And I feel like society and like people around me just throughout life, like graduation is this big thing and it's great. I feel like I've been being told like it's good, like you should feel happy about that, but I'm not feeling that. I feel like I want to go back to school, and I miss that structure and that routine and just being in class. And I feel like that kind of comes to the part of like staying whole in the face of change. I have always identified as a student. I've never done anything else. I've always been in school my whole life, and so now is the first time I'm not, and I feel like I don't have that piece of my identity, and I feel like I'm clinging on to that, and I'm kind of being stretched and pulled apart in different directions, and I don't feel whole. Another thing that ties in with that is Gavin. Gavin and I have been in a relationship for a very long time, and he still has a semester of college left, and so we're long distance right now, and he's always, for the majority of our relationship, we've been very close together, like proximity-wise. We've been near each other all the time, and so now it's like we're not together in such a close way. And I do want to mention, because we were long distance for about 8 months of our relationship, because his family, they live in another state, and so when he would be gone for months at a time and I wouldn't see him, and it would be a much like farther distance. It sucked, but it was also like I knew we would be coming back together at some point. And now it's like, obviously I know we're going to come back together at some point, like that's not a thing, but I just mean like I am living here now. Like I am permanently living in a resident, like in a different house, and he is permanently living somewhere else. It's not like a summer break. It's like I'm not coming back. And so I feel like I'm clinging to that, like that missing him and not being a student anymore, and now I'm an adult and I need to get a real job, whatever that means, and like focus on career stuff, and I don't relate to that, and so I'm coming back to what I know, and I don't want to face anything else. And I want to bring up psychology for a moment. Just that's what I know. I was a psychology major, and that's what I want to do, but like there's different like defense mechanisms that people go to. Most of them are bad. There are a few good ones. And I have seen in my life that I most relate to regression, which is not super great, but I mean most defense mechanisms aren't. Which just means like reverting back to old ways in actual like Freudian terms, which we're not going into, is more like reverting to like childlike behaviors. And I definitely see that in my life. Not saying I act like a baby, but like I see that, and I'm seeing that now. And because I don't want to think about any of this stuff, and I just want to curl up in a ball and cry and be held by someone and just be like wrapped up in a burrito and just hugged very tightly. But that's obviously not how you should deal with it. I'm just saying that's what I've noticed in my life. That's how I've always kind of reacted, not just to change, but just negative situations in general. And so that's just kind of how I'm feeling right now in my life. I feel like I'm being pulled apart, and I feel like I'm clinging on to things that aren't there anymore. It's hanging on by a little thread that's about to, like, you know, the rope is pulling out, that's threading and all that stuff, and it's about to snap. And it's not necessarily a good thing, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe the thread's going to snap and I'm going to fall into something greater. But at the moment, I don't see that. I just am focused on the rope about to snap, and I see the threads breaking, and I see my lifeline about to crumble, and I don't know what's beneath me. And it's something I feel like I'm not great at handling, and this is the first time where I feel like I'm dealing with, like, major changes, except maybe, like, graduating high school and going off to college. That was a pretty major change. But again, at that time in my life, I feel like I had a different mindset towards change, because now I definitely want something more stable and like a good foundation underneath me. And, you know, maybe all I need is time to get that good foundation. Maybe I need the time to find a stable job, or like, you know, get these things that's gonna serve my foundation. But right now, I'm so focused on this rope that I'm holding on to, and it's about to break, and I feel like I don't have any other identity. It's all I've known. This is getting deep. What is this analogy that I'm using? I don't know. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense. This is the third time I've tried to film this video. I've been sitting here for like an hour, because I feel like every time I film, I'm not saying what I'm not getting across what I'm thinking. Lately I've been feeling really nostalgic for like my childhood and like my teenage years, even though some of those years weren't that great for me, but I really miss that feeling sometimes, like just that like childlike freedom of things. And I don't know. And I know there are some of y'all who are older. They're like, you're only 21, you're still a child. And like, I'm not trying to like have a competition with you. This is how I'm feeling. I've never had to deal with this before. Hopefully I will look back on this in 10 years and be like, whoa, you know, why was she thinking like that? But right now, this is how I'm feeling. This is my situation, and I'm gonna talk about it, and I don't care if I sound dramatic or like a baby or like a child, because man, maybe you got life experience, but I don't. I'm young. I know that. Which is why this is such a big deal to me. I've never dealt with this before. I don't know what real jobs are. I keep bringing that up because it's something that, I don't know. I'm trying to focus on the positive aspects of change, specifically the changes that I'm dealing with right now, because I know I sound very negative probably right now, and I'm talking about a lot of negative things going on, and it's not that they're negative things, but I don't really know how to handle them, and I don't know how to adapt to it. I'm not very adaptable. I've never been one to be super adaptable at things coming my way, but I'm trying. That's what we're trying. And so, I don't know. I'm scared. That's what it is. I'm just scared. I'm anxious. I have anxiety. I have pretty bad anxiety. And I'll talk about that another day, but it just, I feel like there's a lot going on around me, but I'm focusing on one thing and one pinpoint that I need to stop focusing on. And so I'm trying to focus on positive aspects of this. I'm living alone. That could be good or bad. I have a house to myself. That sounds better. I have a family who loves me, who are great, who are making sure I'm taken care of and giving me these opportunities. I have the opportunity to work, even though I'm afraid of getting like a real job or whatever, and I'm scared of that. I have the opportunity to work. I'm able-bodied. I can go to work. Some people don't have that opportunity. These are things I have to tell myself all the time to just practice gratitude and be grateful for these changes. I graduated college. That's something not a lot of people can do. Well, some people, I don't know the percentages, but I have a college degree. I have a loving boyfriend, a very, very supportive, encouraging boyfriend who I love so very much. I have y'all, this wonderful platform to even be able to be talking about this. Think about how much things have changed in my life to get me to where I am now. And I have to be grateful to those changes for getting me here, because as much as I'm saying, I don't like the change right now, all those changes in the past, I've gotten through them, I was afraid of them, but we got past them, and now I'm here, and it's great, and I'm feeling good, and this will just be another thing that I look back on, and I'd be grateful for this situation, and grateful that I'm feeling this way, because I can recognize my emotions, and I understand what I'm feeling, and I can talk through it, and work through it, and learn, and grow, so that in the next situation, I'll be more resilient, and that's another big thing in psychology, specifically positive psych, if you're going into counseling or anything like that, but being resilient and staying whole in the face of change. I don't know what this video was. It was super unorganized. I'm not gonna enjoy editing this because I don't really know half the words that I've been saying. I really don't. I hope someone can relate. Again, I know it's not really, I didn't offer a solution or any advice, but that's not really the point of these, because I feel like I don't have much advice to offer in the realm of life experience. Hopefully me ranting and venting and just talking about all of this is helpful if you're going through this. I don't know, I'm so sorry. But yeah, thank you for watching and sticking with me. I just realized my hair has been looking super weird this whole video. Thank you so much for watching. I really love y'all all, seriously, love y'all. Seriously, oh my gosh, you guys are so cool and great, and I love talking to you, and I'm just really grateful for this platform that I have, as small as it is, but yeah, y'all are awesome. Thank you for watching, I hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see y'all in my next video.